A lot of people have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this game, even maybe a million, as odd as it sounds. I have spent zero, and I think I have figured out a way to enjoy the game in a way that whatever happens inside doesn't affect me negatively. And I can still collect whatever I want to collect, and I can still build great teams. You will figure out from this video how you can get any champions, not any champions actually, that's not true, but any fusions, how you can complete any fusions, how you can complete any better summoning events and still have a lot of shards available without spending any money whatsoever. So stay tuned for that. Alright, this is an account level 82. I've been there for about 8.5 months, and I know the problems of the game already. I've created a long analysis on this, but something is still going really well in Raid. There is something that they are doing really well. And I think I've cracked that sauce, like why this happens. But the thing is that for most people, playing Raid is kind of a torturous experience in itself, in between the dopamine spikes that come to the top. Because sometimes you get an amazing champion. I've had my fair share of it already. I have Alas, for example. There you go. I think one of the best mythicals, if not the best mythical. Alice was my first ever login champion, you see. There was Fabian, excellent champion, PvE as well as Arena, as well as Live Arena. Most people ban my Fabian, by the way. I have Cardial, 2 Speed Aura champions. He's basically Reviver Cleanser in one. Plus hits thanks to the power of my other team members, because there is an ally attack straight away to the opponent as the third skill. So I have all these champions, and in fact I even have an excellent epic Sabita. Now, plus many of the other legendaries, 2 turtles and so on. Packmaster Shayak plus his dog, not even built yet. So you see, I'm kind of well off in terms of champions. But the problem is the following. Since the Packmaster Shayak plus Throat Reaper Soul event happened, I have not done anything other than collecting my depleted shard pool. I think I didn't do that badly. Collecting as many soul stones as possible. Here I have some doubts, but even this currency can be used and the souls can be resold and recollected to get that legendary. So that's what I've been doing for about 2 months. And it's kind of draining, right? That not much happens, but I was still under pressure for the majority of these 2 months to see if I can optimize things. For example, there was an event where I had to miss one of the soul stones because 5,000 energy spent for that one immortal soul stone was a bit too much, and I had to settle for less. I have to skip this fusion as well, by the way. So this made me think, why am I doing this at all? It's not an optimal setup, and I have the optimal setup for this. Because I could take it a lot more chilled and still get more champions than what I'm getting right now, just for experimentation purposes. Now, the number one trick is you join the content creator program and you get access to the test server after a while, but then you need to be really successful. Let's not do this. The other option is to create a second account. Just think about that. It will be quite tough initially, but you're not racing with anyone. In fact, you can even skip days. In fact, if you can even play once a week. Because the thing is, I haven't even created the finished the Arbiter mission, by the way, because I didn't have time. Didn't have time to level up the champions. I will talk about this as well. So you create a second account and just collect the resources and never participate in the same fusion with 2 accounts. And then you just decide, this champion will help this account, that champion will help that account. It's kind of straightforward, isn't it? And then the question is how much time you need to actually build that second account. And how much time you need to maintain the first account while the second account is participating in an event. And my answer is surprisingly low. Let's see the quest. This is what you need to do on a regular basis. 5 arena fights. I mean, you need the 15-minute refreshes for a while, so if you just want to lose them, fine. But if you want to win them as well, 5 arena fights, I would say that the game has to be on for at least half an hour. Summoning is instant. 50 energy in the campaign is like, with 10-second farms it's kind of low, but with like even a minute farms it's doable initially. Tavern champion increase easy, artifact upgrade super easy as well, so this two combined is like 1 minute, item purchase 1 minute, campaign boss is included in the 50 energy. So you can get done with all of these in a matter of 5 minutes, plus destroy the red dots in 5 minutes. Then comes the advanced quests. These are the difficult ones, because sometimes, as long as you cannot fight the Demon Lord on auto, the game needs to be on for about like 15 to 20 minutes to complete these fights without you doing anything. Can you afford to do this? Do you spend 20 minutes in front of a computer? If yes, you can do it on the background. And the way is, you have 1 Plarium play, and 2, you have an emulator, for example, BlueStacks or Nox or whatever other emulator. And if you have both on your computer, then you can do this. Okay? And this implies that both of the games are running in parallel, so essentially it doesn't cost any time for you. Because while the second game is grinding, the first game is you administrate. While the first game is grinding, the second administrates. I'll show you what I mean. Clan versus clan, I just finished it. So I'll collect, claim the personal rewards, amazing, I got all of these. I didn't go to all the milestones, I want to stay in tier 2 right now because that's what I can afford with my playstyle, time-wise. And then I go, battle, event dungeon, because that's what I'm grinding, let's say 16 this time. Multi-battle 25. Start it in the background. At least it's in the background. I can record videos. I cannot do anything else, but at least I can record videos. Because the Soulstone is coming. I'm doing level 16 for time effectiveness reasons. I'm not the strongest player out there. But I still want to collect the heroes and experiment with them. So I'll check Shadow's Wrath. I need this Soulstone like badly. But I couldn't spend energy, and Clan vs Clan only finished afterwards. So the other event was not maxed out either, and I didn't get the other Soulstone because I was missing more than 1,000. So fine, 2,500 to 3,200 it's gonna be covered with those 25 or maybe less. It runs in the background. You cannot do anything else on this account anyway that affects those champions. So I'm recording a video now instead. Or you may play the other account instead. So that's a good thing. And then if with the same amount of time you have 2 accounts, sooner or later you collect these shards, and this account is proof for that I could basically finish the Fabian's Fusion less than 3 months in the game. I played the game like quite extensively. Not the best way, but still played extensively enough, and I was ready for a fusion for the 3rd month. Even if this was my first ever account. If you play it less extensively, you'll be ready for your first fusion in 6 months. And rinse and repeat. If you have an old mobile device laying there that can connect to your internet, while the other 2 accounts are running, you can run a 3rd account. Without any extra time investment, and rest assured, 70 to 80% of your playtime in Raid, that was part of my constructive criticism on Raid, is not playtime. It is idle time while the account is running. I would love to do multitasking, that while there is this background battle running, I do the arena. But wait a minute, if I have 2 accounts, I run the battles, either background battles or regular battles in 1 account. Mental capacity is like 0% for it. And on the other account I do the arena. So if Raid screws us by not being able to do anything while the multi-battle is running, then you know what, screw you, Raid. I will create a second account and I will exit your Hunger game. And I will still collect the heroes, I'll just choose which account I use. Is this fusion coming? This, I don't have anyone good enough in the arena, for example, for a tank. Then I collect this, or maybe he has some PvE options. I'm not going for this fusion because I don't have the 2 accounts infrastructure set up. This is just an ideation phase right now. I mean, I have experimental second or third account, but I'm not using them, and they were not set up under proper links. So this is doable. This is more than doable. And then just imagine, now I had to skip this fusion because of a future promise of a Raphael or Leonardo event. If I have all the resources that I need in Raid, I couldn't care less about what information Plarium withholds from the player base on purpose. Because you need to know how the game is set up. And this is on purpose as well. If you run a business where you basically sell dreams and digital pixels, like for example these are digital like pixels, okay, the model is not bad, or for any of these champions, there was some work put in it, but hey, I'm not spending $200 just to be able to play with like this champion in the basic game modes. That's a turn-based battle, right? It's like, I don't know where the minds of people are, right? And given that I'm not willing to do this, but hey, I might want to collect this, not a problem. The only way to do this with a free-to-play account is to go for all fusions, all events, everything else, is if you have multiple accounts getting the rewards. What kind of rewards am I talking about? One reward is, for example, every single week you get 1 ancient shard here. Every single week here in the bazaar you get an ancient shard here, and every second week you get a void shard, and sometimes you get sacred shard, but my account is not there anymore and it's depleted because I got the void shard. I need this for the time limited turtle events anyway. So by doing nothing, and just by doing the login rewards, for example, daily login reward, here it is. Tomorrow I'm gonna get a shard, day 262 I get another shard, 268 and 265 2 other shards. I hope that that these are gonna be of good use for Leonardo or Raphael for that purpose. So I'm doing quite well in terms of this. And afterwards, some of the rewards are dampened a bit. You see, because you're not getting, for example, ancient or what is this? The primal shards, the yellow one, or sacred shards. These are called. I don't even know the shard names. So sacred shards. You don't even get sacred shards, but then your account is supposed to be stronger. And you know what my main problem is with this account, and for any account for that matter? You took a sneak peek into my missions. I haven't even completed Arbiter because I'm missing the champions that make Spider easy. But those champions are in my inventory. It's just I haven't built them. I have too few champions to take care of, all the way until Toragi and maybe High Khatoon, or maybe some of these OKL War Maiden as well as Coldheart are kind of usable in some places. But I don't have time to properly build them, and I don't have time to go to the Minotaur's Labyrinth on every single time because I have been busy for 2 months to spend all my energy and more, sometimes even gems, to get these soul stones. I had less than 5 soul stones initially when I knew that I would have to collect soul stones. It was about 2 months ago. Just think about that. I had to spend all my energy on this, and I had to spend all my energy to collect these currencies as well, just to get mortal soul stones, just in case they were important, so that I take a shot at that event in the future. And I need to hoard the rest of my energy potions, just in case I need to grind a bit more to get that time limited champion. So what does this mean? I don't have resources to develop my champion and advance in missions, as well as advanced in clan bosses. Right now, I can reliably 2-key Nightmare but I can only 3 key Ultra Nightmare. Sooner or later I will need to go to Ultra Nightmare, so rather sooner, but right now I'm doing Nightmare and Brutal. Maybe this is bad because of drop rates. I would need to go to Ultra Nightmare 3 keyed, but it takes more time, so I don't always have the time to run it even in the background. So you see now it's 56 million, but I barely didn't get the 39.17 million. I could optimize this too. But I don't have time for it because I need the resources for future events, and once I get the rewards for those future events, I won't have time to build them because there is a next event and Hunger Games is coming again. So you know what? Don't participate in those events with this account. Participate in those events with another account once you get there. So you will be able to skip less events. And then just finally develop this account and increase the shard earning ability of the account. How can you increase the earning ability in terms of shards? Simple. Live Arena, always max it out. At least this. Primal Quartz 355 over 400. Rest assured I will not just max it out, but I'll make sure that I will have enough battles to have 34 by the end of the month. Or 30 or something along those lines, because next month I can claim a few more of the shards for the Leonardo event and all these things, right? So you can also do this arena, but then you need to have a good enough live arena team to advance all the way to 4,800 points and beyond. So I have that team, by the way. I cannot show it to you right now because 10 battles are already there. There is a battle log. You see the team basically. Most of the time Fabian is banned. In the last 2 cases he wasn't, but it's usually Fabian, Alaz, Cardiel, Alice, as well as Sabita for increased attack, increased defense and revival. And she stays alive, or he stays alive for a long time. And even though I've lost 4 in a row, I won the 4 before it, so I always go for 5 wins. Or 10 battles in total. So you can do that as well. But then the main thing is Clan Boss. Clan Boss is one of the most important things, where you can earn ancient shards. It's just the drops are kind of random. And sacred shards and every type of shard, except for the red ones. So you can earn shards from this, but then I would need to 1 key Nightmare and 2 key Ultra Nightmare consistently. I'm not there yet. I will be there one day. Hydra Chimera, you need other champions, obviously. That's why I got Throat Reaper and Shayak. Because I knew that I would need more resources in there. Doom Tower. So I happened to clear Doom Tower on normal. Except for 1 secret room or 2. So this gave me a purple shard. On hard, you know, it's still time. I will do it today. I will continue climbing to 20 and so on. I'm not sure if I will clear it, most likely not because I've never done this, but there you go. This shard is kind of precious if you can clear it. But that requires your account to get stronger. Progression missions, faction wars, all these things. You can keep on increasing the earning ability of your account. And once you're there, you'll be able to complete these events in less time, because you still fight for 1 fusion only, so it's not more time. And while a fusion is going on, the other account is on idle. You're just doing your daily missions, and then you finish. And then you just keep the 1 mission. So playtime doesn't increase at all. Not just a bit, at all. It doesn't increase. And you can do all these things. And then all the marketing nonsense will not affect you. That they time limit the Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, Raffaello, as well as April and Shredder. You're not affected by it at all, because you have multiple shots at it. Now, you can deplete the resources of even 2 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts if you play really badly or you have some gambling addiction or whatever. So you can work on that. But you have a lot more chances if you have multiple accounts, and this experience would otherwise cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So as long as you can do this, and by the way, it doesn't have to be your account, it can be someone in your household, and you're entitled to do this. So this is what I normally recommend in these kinds of games where artificial scarcity is introduced, and oftentimes you feel bad because it is intentional that Plarium depletes your resources. They entice you with some events, some 2x summons, some whatever other types of summons just before the other event to drain your resources so that you buy stuff. Because you don't want to miss out on the time-limited Leonardo, for example, and then you say, okay, let me open my wallet, let me give you first a few $10, then a few $100, then a few $1,000. This is the name of the game. And the way to defend against this is the only way that I know is multi-accounting. There is no other reliable way. No matter how good you are, how good your account is, no matter how many ancient shards you earn, there is always an event type that depletes all your resources, and then you might want to get something else. So the only way for you to defend is not get it, and if you still want to get it in another account where you have the resources, and just rotate and alternate. And it doesn't even occupy you more time, and it makes the game even more enjoyable, because frankly I'm not enjoying this. Like, I'm not enjoying this counter to go to 25. I couldn't care less about this counter. So in this case, I will just go for it other clients. And this ironically fixes the number 1 or number 2 difficulties I have with raid. There is a reason why they do super raids and these things. When I started playing, I kept on complaining, why do I have to watch the battles if they are on auto? Why do they have to take time? Why do they... I know why, because if they make it part of your life, then you pay attention to it more, even if it runs in the background, and then eventually you take some purchasing decisions. That's the background of it. That's why you have to watch the battles. But frankly, if I have 2 accounts and I'm busy with the daily missions in one account and the other one is grinding in the background, I don't have to pay attention. It's not a problem anymore. That's why I only play on PC. That's why Ash keeps on saying that, oh, mobile players, it's so much more difficult to them, because it capitalizes, it captures your whole device. You cannot do anything else while the battle is going on. This is not Ethereal Restart, this is Raid Shadow Legends, where you still have to have the client on, and you cannot do anything other than, let's say, listening to audiobooks in the background when there is background listening. So to combat this and make the playing experience still enjoyable also for free-to-play, the main way is multi-accounting. It will be really bad for the first month in a sense that the second account is not going to be rewarding at all, but you've gone through it once already. And you can go through it again just a bit more slowly. And maybe it's also enjoyable to complete the missions again. I think my second account is gonna be during the free-to-play challenge with Hell Hades, if there is gonna be. And then I'll be able to alternate the 2 accounts. I was quite proud of this account back in the days, despite me not knowing even the rules of the game initially. And I stuck with it. And I'm really not happy with the intentionally withheld information, the campaign introduction of some of the events just a few days before, but not disclosing how many shards you need. So I refuse to participate in these Hunger Games. I would rather skip everything that I don't badly want, and I know how hard it is to get just these resources and just these resources for the turtles. I know that it takes time and it's not rewarding because I cannot level up the champion and cannot even claim Arbiter. So this is the wrong game to play. The right game to play is multi-accounts for the same amount of time or less. Rather less. And if there is a fusion that you don't want with any of the accounts, just skip that fusion, because you don't need that. But if you want to get all the fusions, there is a number of accounts that are sufficient to get everything in the game without paying anything. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't... Maybe you have one dedicated account where you top up a couple of times, but then it's not... You're not doing it reactively because they screwed you over again, but you're doing it proactively because you enjoy the game. That's a huge difference, and that's what I psychologically always recommend in any game whatsoever. Let me know what you think about it in the comments.